So let's download AngularJS. Let's actually work in this project. Now, what we're going to do here is something very, very simple, and that is literally just downloading the AngularJS file. Now, JavaScript is a lot different than backend languages because JavaScript works in the web browser. So right now I'm using Chrome, that's Google Chrome, but it would work in Firefox, it would work in Safari, Opera, every web browser out there, AngularJS will work as long as JavaScript itself is required or used in that particular browser. Most browsers do that. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to download AngularJS. Notice when I click on this, I get a few different options as to what I can do. There's a CDN, Bower, NPM, and extras. There's other modules that you can download this with, or you can just click download. So what's the difference between all these things? Well, Bower and NPM are two different sort of package managers. Package managers meaning each file itself, so each Angular project is actually a package. Each JavaScript project is a package. So when you hear of Angular, that's considered a JavaScript package. It's also considered a JavaScript library. Those things are interchangeable. Now, Angular in of itself has different versions, right? So right now we're using version 1.5.8, but notice it also has version 1.2.x here. So legacy versions, but 1.2.x, X meaning that last version number there, which usually has incremental changes, and it's not usually that big. So 1.5 is like a bigger change than 1.4, but 1.5.8 and 1.9, they're not that big of a deal. But anyway, so those changes are tracked over time, and you want to be able to download the version that you want to work with. So for us, we're using version 1.5.8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and download this. And if you notice in your downloads, what you should see is something like this. It doesn't have anything on the version itself right there, but if I click it and actually open it up, right, the first line will tell us the version. So that's how we know what version number we're going to be using with Angular. And notice this automatically opened for me in Sublime Text 2 because that's what we're going to be working with. Now this is the minified version of the AngularJS, which we'll talk about later. But these other versions are other places of where you can get it. The CDN version is something we will use, but for now, we don't need to worry about that. We just needed to download Angular min.js. So in the next one, we will actually get this started.